Hi guys, this is Aditya and welcome back to Adi's classroom. In this video, we're going to be seeing how to solve the last layer in our cube. After this video, we'll be able to completely solve our cube. So, I hope by now you are very much familiar with all the algorithms and terms we learned in our previous videos. If not, please click the link above to watch our previous videos. So without wasting much time, let's move on. Now we know how to solve the two layers of the cube. You can see that all the two layers in the cube are solved. So the next step in solving the cube is to solve the third layer, that is the topmost layer. So the first step in solving the third layer is to make a yellow plus or a yellow cross on top. Sometimes when you solve the second layer, automatically a yellow plus is formed. If not, there are three other situations which will be formed. So let's look at them now. The first type of situation we can find is a yellow line in the center of the cube. So what we have to do if we get this situation is that we have to rotate the front face of the cube in the clockwise direction one time, like this. After that, you have to perform the right hand algorithm once. Then you have to move the front face in anti-clockwise direction back to its normal position. You can see that you got the yellow plus. It's not a problem if we get an yellow corner piece over here. All you need is an yellow plus. The second type of situation we can find is what we call an angle, where the three yellow pieces are like this, positioned like this. So what we have to do here is simple. Now we are going to do a special type of front move, where we are going to move the front two faces together like this. You have to move it clockwise like this. After you do that, you have to perform the right hand algorithm once. Once we are done with that, you have to reverse the move which we did in the first. That is, move the front two faces to the anti-clockwise direction like this. Now you can see that we have got our yellow plus on top. The last type of situation we can find is what we call a dot. In this situation, we find a yellow dot in the center of our cube. It is simple to solve the situation. There are two steps. First, we have to do the set of moves we did to solve the yellow line in the center. Then, we have to perform the set of moves we did to solve the yellow angle over here. So, let's do it. First, we are going to perform the set of moves we did for the yellow line. So, let's go. You have to move the front face of the cube once. Then perform the right hand algorithm. Then bring the front face back to its normal position by moving it in the anti-clockwise direction like this. By doing this, we can see that we get an angle over here. Here on it's the same thing. You have to perform the moves for the angle and you will get a yellow plus. So let's do it. Let's perform the front two faces turn in the clockwise direction like this. Then perform the right hand algorithm. Then let's bring the front two faces back to its normal position by moving it in the anti-clockwise direction like this. Here we see that by doing it we get the yellow plus again. Now that we have got a yellow plus on top, the next step in solving the cube is to align the corners of the top layer, that is the yellow corners. So let's align them. While solving the corners of the last layer, we can get two types of situation. The first situation is where the two adjacent corners are solved and the other two adjacent corners are not solved, that is, they're not positioned correctly. So let's check it out. For a clear view, you can move the bottom two layers to get a clear view. Here you can see that the yellow, orange and green corner is correctly aligned between its yellow, orange and green centers. Similarly, this green, red and yellow corner is arranged properly between its green, red and yellow centers, but is just twisted. That doesn't matter. But on the other side, if you see that these two adjacent corners are not aligned, which means that, for example, this corner over here, the blue, red and yellow corner is not aligned between its blue, red and yellow centers. So this corner should actually come between the blue, red and yellow centers, which is over here. But over here is another corner. So what we are supposed to do is we have to swap these two corners. So let's do it. Now, to swap these two corners, the first step you have to do is you have to keep the corners such that both the corners that need to be swapped are on the right side, your right side. Okay? So let's swap these two corners. Follow these step of moves to swap these two corners. Perform the right hand algorithm 3 times like this. 1 time, 2nd time, 3rd time. Then move the whole cube towards the left like this. Now perform the left hand algorithm 3 times. 1st time, 2nd time, 3rd time. So that's it. Now you can see that all the corners are swapped in its correct position. So to see that, what we can do is we can move the bottom 2 layers to get a clear view. Over here we can see that the yellow, blue and red corner is come back to its yellow, blue and red centers. Similarly, the orange, blue and yellow corner has come to its orange, blue and yellow centers. The second type of situation that you get while solving the corners of the last layer is that the 2 corners that are diagonal to each other are correctly positioned and the other 2 diagonal corners are not correctly positioned. To show you that, you can see this corner over here, that is the yellow, blue and the orange corner, that is should be between the yellow, blue and the orange centers, but it is not. The yellow, blue and the orange center is over here. But over here there is another corner. So what we have to do, we have to swap these 2 diagonal corners. So let's do it. We are going to swap these 2 corners in a diagonal fashion. So to swap these 2 corners in a diagonal fashion, what we have to do is do the adjacent swap which we learned before. But this time you can do it in any angle, it doesn't matter. So let's do it. First you have to perform the right hand algorithm 3 times like this. 1st time, 2nd time, 3rd time. Then move the cube towards the left. Then perform the left hand algorithm 3 times like this. 1st time, 2nd time, 3rd time. So we have performed the moves which we did for the adjacent swap. Now you can see that always 2 edges will be solved and 2 adjacent edges will be swapped. So we have come back to our first situation. So now we have come to our last situation where these 2 corners are correctly aligned and these 2 corners have to be swapped. So let's do it. So first let's make sure that these 2 corners are towards our right. Then we'll perform the right hand algorithm 3 times like this. Then we'll move the cube towards the left. Then we'll perform the left hand algorithm 3 times. Yes, so now you can see that all the edges are solved properly. To clarify that, we can move the bottom 2 layers and check it out. Here you can see that this edge is correctly solved between its appropriate centers, and it is the same with all the other edges. So I've told you all the 2 problems that can happen and their solutions. Next, let's go with the last step in solving the cube. As I told you that all the twisted corners is not a problem, now let's align them all. So first make sure that your cube is flipped upside down such that the white side faces the top and the yellow side faces the down. Next, what we have to make sure is that the corner which must be twisted should be at our right side bottom. over here. Next, you have to perform the right hand algorithm until the corner is twisted to its original position, like this. So now you can see that this corner has come to its original position. Next, what we will do is, we will move the bottom layer so that the next corner aligns up here, like this. So this corner is aligned up here. Again, we will perform the right hand algorithm until this corner is twisted to its original position. Let's do it. So you can see after 4 repetitions, this corner has come to its original position. So let's again move the bottom layer. This corner is already twisted, so we don't have to do anything. We can continue to move the bottom layer. This is our last corner that needs to be twisted. So let's perform the right hand algorithm until it's twisted to its correct position. So now, if we turn the cube upside down and see, all the corners are there in their correct position. We can verify this by moving the bottom 2 layers. Here, you can see that all the corners are twisted correctly and are aligned correctly. The last step in solving our cube is to solve the edges of the last layer. You can see the edges are not aligned with their appropriate centers. So let's solve. There can be 2 variations in this. The first variation is that there is one edge that is already solved and the remaining 3 edges are not solved. So let's see how to solve it. When you have only one edge solved and the remaining 3 edges are not solved, follow these step of moves to solve your cube completely. At first, make sure that the edge which is solved is facing you like this and the yellow center is on top. Next, perform the right hand algorithm once. Then perform the left hand algorithm once. Then after that, perform the right hand algorithm 5 times. First time, second time, third time, fourth time, and the last time. Then perform the left hand algorithm 5 times. And it's done. You can see that your cube is solved. Sometimes you will have to perform this whole move twice. Here's an example that I'll show you. First, make sure that this edge which is solved is facing you and the yellow center is on top. Then perform the right hand algorithm once. Then the left hand algorithm once. Right hand algorithm 5 times. Then perform the left hand algorithm 5 times. You can see that even after doing it once, it's still not solved. So what you have to do is you have to perform this whole move again one more time. It can happen like this sometimes, it's not a big problem. So let's do the move again. Right hand algorithm once. Left hand algorithm once. Right hand algorithm 5 times. Left hand algorithm 5 times. And yes, it's done. We have solved the cube again. The second variation where none of the edges is solved. Basically the method is simple. You can start at any edge you want and do the same method. It goes like this. Do the right hand algorithm once. Left hand algorithm once. Right hand algorithm 5 times. Then do the left hand algorithm 5 times. So if you see carefully, we have come back to our old situation where one edge was solved and other 3 edges are not solved. Here on, it's very simple. Perform the same move once or twice and you will solve your cube. Now if you see carefully, we have come back to our same situation which we had before, where one edge was solved and the other 3 edges aren't solved. So let's perform the same moves. Right hand algorithm once, left hand algorithm once, right hand algorithm 5 times, and the left hand algorithm 5 times. And there you go, our cube is solved. So that's all. Congratulations, you know how to solve a cube. Congratulations! So now you know how to solve a cube completely. As it is said, practice makes a man perfect. No one can solve the cube in the first attempt, and it takes so much practice and repetition to solve the cube, and after that you can solve the cube just as fast. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe and click the bell icon. Also be sure to share this video to your friends and leave a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye.